Hey there, I just wanted to do a short video to share with you what I love about math games. So if you've followed my site for any time at all, you will see that I love math games because I have a lot of them on there. It's almost entirely math games, so I thought I should just explain myself. So I primarily teach math, so that's one of the reasons for that. I have taught all subject areas, but for the past 3 years I've really had primarily a math focus with grades 3 through 5. And I do teach gifted math, so that kind of plays into the game sometimes as well. So the first reason that I like them is that they encourage practicing without having to have the child do a worksheet or get plugged into the computer. So a lot of times children don't really see why they need to practice something after they've learned it, especially in math. They've proved they know it, can they just move on? And sometimes that's appropriate, but everybody needs a little bit of practice with it. This just breaks it up, gives them a more fun way to practice, and so they're a lot less resistant to it. The next reason that I like it is that it encourages creative problem solving. One of my things that I love the most about math games is that it's so cool. I can play a game with my class a few times and then I'll play it again and I notice something new and fresh about it, a new way to approach the problems, a new strategy to use. A lot of times my students will find things that I haven't seen before, so it's really cool in that way. The third reason that I love math games is that it's a really good way to integrate various math concepts with fraction switch. You've got dividing of decimals that you can incorporate in order to compare those fractions. I really don't like the butterfly method. It's very abstract. There's a lot of mathematicians out there that say that's kind of not a great thing to introduce at the younger ages. So having that decimal understanding of how a fraction can be made into a decimal is a good thing to relate to that. And then in Operation Scramble, which is one of the primary games, it's got them adding and subtracting, but also using odd and even numbers. And I can see how all of those things are really integrated. Next, practicing academic vocabulary and showing a use for it. And this is one of those things you really have to be intentional about if you're playing with your children or teaching them. But using words like the sum, the difference, the product, the numerator, the denominator. They'll notice that when you're trying to explain a game to them, it's really important that and clarifying when you use that mathematical terminology. So giving them a time to use those words, those math-specific content area language, is really great for them because it's going to help them to be able to take in all that information as they get older and math is moving faster and their teachers are using that terminology. So it kind of helps give them more exposure to that universal language of mathematics, but in a less threatening way than trying to learn some new formula or something. And then also it's great for differentiation. A lot of times you can tweak the game a little bit up to make it harder, or you can tweak it to make it a little bit easier. Sometimes we can tweak it for one person that's playing the game so that they can have a little bit of an advantage because they might be younger or less experienced with the topic. So the more you play these games, the more you'll see little tiny changes that you can make to make the game usable and accessible to all of the players. And since I have a first grader and a fourth grader, sometimes that's really imperative in my household as well. So I hope that you're enjoying the games. I hope that you see that they really aren't just play. We want the kids to feel like they're play, but they really, really are valuable games that get the kids thinking about math, and they're very useful. So thanks for your time.